I'm really pleased to be joining a club like Rangers, where there is so much to look forward to between now and May. A number of offers on the table, but not match the magnitude of this club, with European football and a chance of playing in front of 50,000 fans every other week.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Shed and Blue. 1 second. Transfer deadline day is the final hour. The countdown is on, and we have done absolutely nothing. Nothing really of any real note. Nothing to get excited about. Absolutely pointless. We can't have any excuses now as a club. It can't be like, oh, we don't have the players, we don't have the squad, but why don't you invest? So just have to back the boys really till the end of the season. There's been talk about Dembele, but that's not going to happen now. Maybe at the end of the season he might come in, but I can't see it coming any sooner.
There's another big story we've got to get to now, and I suppose it's the saga of deadline day, really, which involves Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
It's all been about Aubameyang for the last hour, going to Barcelona, big deal. Arsenal lose their main striker. Everton have done a bit of business today. Super Frank at the wheel for Everton now. Happy for him. Deserves a chance. Got a couple of decent players in through the door. Van der Beek, he can finally get to see what he's made of. Didn't really get a chance at United. Dele Alli maybe could revive his career at Everton. So a couple of decent signings for them. Newcastle have done a little bit of business today. So Dan Burn, he's a giant. Be a good solid centre back for them. He's used to the Premier League and he's a fighter. He'll know how to. At least he can defend. They're shocking at the moment. Newcastle in defence. They really need. They needed something there. They've got Matt Target as well, so they've got a decent back four now. Really, nothing else really going on in the Premier League. Chelsea, like I said, we have been absolutely dead. Nothing has gone on for us. We've signed one lad from Derby. He's going straight into the youth setup. Apart from that, there's nothing to talk about. No Deadwood gone. A couple of loan players came back and went back out again. Tino Angerin joined Levi Colwill at Huddersfield. We've just got to look towards the end of the season, really, and they're saying that everything's going to change. We've got to hope that we can get that Rudiger signed, get that contract signed. I can't see Azpilicueta staying in. Christensen looks like he's out the door already. So there's not really much else really to talk about for Chelsea. We've got 53 minutes and nothing's happened so far. There we go. It's a bit better. Nothing going on at all for Chelsea whatsoever. And what's going on? No. Dembele's not coming. I can't see it happening. If it does, it'll be announced probably after the transfer window's closed that he's signed. He's going to come to Chelsea in the summer. I imagine he's staying at Barcelona until the end of the season. And then he'll move to Chelsea because Chelsea need to get wages off the books, basically. And we didn't do it. Well, we should have done it. There was chances to get rid of players in this window, and we didn't. Like Sir Ross Barkley, why couldn't we got rid of him? Do you know what I mean? Ruben Loftus-Cheek, is he good enough? There's a couple of players maybe we could have got out the door. But we didn't bother. And we didn't try and even. It's embarrassing trying to get a left back cover. That was just embarrassing. Couldn't even buy back our own fucking players. That's how embarrassing it's been. Tried to buy our own player, and that got rejected. That's how embarrassing this window's been for Chelsea. We needed cover at left back. Yes, Malang Sarr, he's been all right, but he's got mistakes in him. And we've got some big games coming up, and I don't want Marcos Alonso at left back. I've had enough of watching him play football, to be honest with you. But we've got to stick with him. That's all we've got. Malang Sarr is not at the level we need, to be honest with you. We needed investment in left back, and it didn't happen. Not angry. Can't be bothered really to get angry with our transfer. It's been embarrassing for a while now, the way we dealt with transfers. Lukaku was a joke, 100 million down the drain. When we had Tammy Abraham, same sort of player really at the moment. I haven't seen any difference. And we've got Broja banging in goals at Southampton, and we're not interested in bringing him back, or weren't interested in keeping him back. You never know what he could do. I don't want to heap too much pressure on the lad. Let's let him finish off the season at Southampton and then bring him into the squad maybe next season. Maybe he'll do well, maybe he won't, but you never know. It's worth a try. As far as players to come in, I don't know. I like Declan Rice. I think he's pretty decent, but apart from that, we need investment all over the squad. There's going to be a lot of outgoings, hopefully, in the summer. Like the Deadwood, a few players that have been good servants, like Aspilicueta looks like he's on the way out. Christensen, like I said. There's rumours Jorginho's looking to go back to Italy, and if we can get a good deal for that, then I'm up for that. Like everyone's saying, a couple of the front players like Pulisic, Ziyech, unhappy at the club. Lukaku even could be out the door. So who knows who's going to be leaving in the summer? Who knows what Tuchel wants? I'm just backing him all the way. Let's just bring in whoever we need, whoever he wants, whoever he thinks is up for the fight. If it's Dembele, then so be it. I'm backing Tuchel, and the club need to. All the fans are, but the club need to back him. That's the problem at the moment. It's not Tuchel. We know these players aren't good enough. They're a cup team, and if we want to challenge for titles, then we need to invest in better players, because these players haven't been able to win the league and not got anywhere near it in years. With 3 different managers, we haven't got anywhere near the league. And decent managers as well. So we ain't getting near it this year. We didn't get near it with Lampard. We didn't get near it with Sarri. Conte was the last one who got us to the league, and we haven't been good enough since. That's fair enough. We haven't reinvested quality in this side that is needed to fight for the title. Man City have raised the bar, and we haven't gone up there and done the same. We haven't invested. We have, but it's been poor as well. In my opinion, the players that we've been brought in haven't been the right sort of players over the last few windows. Since that transfer ban, our transfer it just haven't been the right sort of players. I think we've got like 3 or 4 that have been good enough. Edward Mendy, quality. Good bit of business for Silva, bringing him in. Ben Chilwell, great player. All the young players that have been brought through, fantastic. But other than that, I can't see anyone who's really stood out. Kai Havertz has had a couple of decent games here and there. Timo Werner hit and miss. Lukaku, enough being said, really. What's going on from Algeria? Big up yourselves. Asija. What's going on? All the way from Algeria, you know. It's just peak really for Chelsea at the moment. We ain't got no one coming in, and I'm not that bothered. But it is what it is. End of the day, we'll invest in the summer, but it's going to be tough. Like prices are going up. Like Tchouaméni, we could have got him last season for like 50. Now, like people are talking about 83s, 90 million for the lad. I don't know. I don't know about like I was saying, like the transfer dealings we've done since this transfer ban haven't been the best. We've had like 3 or 4 players that have been decent. The rest have been hit and miss. Haven't been good enough. Ziyech, like last couple of games, yeah, he scored an amazing goal against Tottenham, but his performances haven't been up to the standard we thought they would be. Same for Werner, same for Havertz, same for Pulisic. Kovacic has been quality, but he came in on loan and then we bought him. But he's probably one of the only ones like him, Silva, Chilwell, Mendy. That's about it really. The rest have just haven't been good enough. Not the right sort of players. I haven't really had enough time in this team actually. Haven't really found their place in the side. Some of them like Havertz and Werner. It's a shame really, but I can see them going. Some of them, I can see Christensen. He's gone. He's out the door pretty much. His head has been turned, and he ain't signing another contract for Chelsea. Azpilicueta, to be honest with you, he's been a great servant for Chelsea, and maybe it's like one of them things where he's Spanish, and who wouldn't want to go like. Look, it looks like he's going to be playing for Barcelona next year, and that's probably one of the things where, like most Spanish, like growing up, you want to be playing for either Real Madrid or Barcelona. So I'd let him go. He's been a great servant, and he's won everything for Chelsea. Great captain. Going to go down in the history as one of the best players ever to play for Chelsea, one of the best defenders ever to play for Chelsea. One of the best captains because he's won it all. So. And he is getting to it's obvious now he can't keep up with the pace of the Premier League, so maybe it'd be best for him if he did actually leave. That would probably, in my opinion, be best for him.
Maybe that's the case. There must be lots of clause on there, but he got himself to speak to the player. He needs to get the regular game time out and show everyone.
40 minutes or 44 minutes to go. There's nothing going on really apart from Charlton beating Portsmouth 2-1. Crystal Palace has signed Jean-Philippe Mateta. He's already there, isn't he, on loan? So I'm guessing a permanent deal done for him. He looked like quite a decent player when I was watching Palace the other day, so it's a good signing for them, I suppose. It's just showing Sky Sports are just showing Van der Beek. There's really not much else going on. Like, I can't see any deal happening for Chelsea in the last 45 minutes. Nothing in any way of any importance is going to happen. Never does, really. Let's have a look and see what. Aubameyang's completed his medical. That's gone through. It's good news in a way because Arsenal are going to struggle without Aubameyang. I can't. Right, they've got Nketiah and Lacazette. Lacazette, half decent, I suppose, but he just hasn't got the goals in him. For me, like Aubameyang did. Aubameyang was like a goal machine like a couple of years ago, and now Nketiah not good enough at this level, in my opinion. Yeah, they're going to struggle. There is nothing. Liverpool are trying to sign that young lad from Fulham, Carvalho. Aaron Ramsey's gone to Rangers, which is a good bit of business for them, I suppose. Pick up the Rangers fans out there. Friends from up north. Good signing for you guys. A good bit of business there. Aaron Ramsey's a quality player. And Scottish football, I've always enjoyed watching Scottish football back in the day, and it's a shame that it's like not as big as it was. I'd like to see a resurgence of Scottish football, and players like the names like Aaron Ramsey could help with that. Getting Rangers back into competing in Europe would be a good thing. Even Celtic as well. I'm liking that it's competitive again between those two. That's always a good thing. And Ramsey going there, you never know. Other players their heads could be turned to Scottish football again. So that's always a good thing. So hopefully he has a good time there and does well. He's a quality player. He could have gone to any Premier League side. I'm surprised like other Premier League sides weren't looking at him, like Newcastle. You know, like Everton. Well, they've just gone and got Ali and thingy, but you know those sort of teams around that sort of area. Even a Burnley, like, or maybe even Arsenal going back in for him again. All right. But no, it could be a business for Rangers, so big up them. It's a good bit of business for them, like on loan. I don't know if they'll have to pay all his wages because he's on a big like wage packet, so I doubt they're going to be paying the full whack of that. But Juventus have been like letting a few players go. Tottenham have signed a couple of their players as well on loan. Kulusevski from Sweden. He was all right when I saw him play against us. Nothing special really, but Conte might be able to get a song out of him. So you never know. Conte can turn if he can turn Victor Moses into what he did for us, then you never know what can happen with these players. Dele Alli deal hasn't been announced yet, but it's pretty much going through. Tottenham have done quite a little bit of business in the last couple of days. They signed Bentancur from Juventus as well. They let Ndombele go. They've let Lo Celso go, and that Brian Gill, who was literally there for a couple of months. So he obviously weren't good enough. Half of those players weren't good enough. I'm sorry, they were shit. And Ndombele just didn't he was the one everyone was banging on about was going to be great, but he couldn't handle the Premier League. Gill just hasn't got the size for the Premier League, got bullied out of the game. I don't care about Tottenham really, but I know Conte, and I'm worried that when he gets the players he wants, Tottenham are going to be turned into a bit of a force. So we know that can happen. So we don't want them getting rid of this shit, really, do we? So Man City have signed a player from River Plate, Alvarez. That's a good one, yeah. Big up Brentford signing Christian Eriksen. Nice to see. Good to see that he's back in football and he's hopefully going to be playing for our local rivals now, Brentford in the Premier League. We want them to do well. We want to have these local rivals, these big games. We want Brentford to stay in the Premier League and make themselves a stable Premier League club. You know, we don't want them dropping down. We want them to be able to compete, and we want to have big local derbies against tiny teams like Brentford. We want a West London team in the Premier League. Only last time we had was QPR, and they've just been useless for the last few years. Even though they're doing decent in the Championship, and I hope they can come back up again. Because, like I say, we want these West London derbies. We want to show who's the boss of London. You know what I mean? Because London's blue, and they all need to know that. So I'm hoping Brentford stay up. I'm hoping it's a good thing they got Christian Eriksen, and I'm hoping after what happened to him in the summer, he can get back to full fitness and get back on the pitch and do decent for them, to do some decent things for them for the rest of the season, keep them up, and hopefully attract better players to their club, and hopefully they can become a decent Premier League team. Nothing else really going on. 37 minutes to go. Dele Alli basically is the main talking point for the Premier League at the moment. Tottenham have done a bit of business today, especially getting rid of. They've been able to get some deadwood out their club. At least they've been able. They've been able to. We ain't done nothing. Absolutely no deadwood gone. I suppose we need them. We need the squad, do we? We need those players like Ross Barkley. We need Ross Barkley. So we're relying on Scaff Zidane. I'm surprised like Lampard didn't come in for him. Like he might do in the last couple of minutes. You never know. Bring him back to Everton. But he might have like thought, yeah, Ross Barkley was like fourth or fifth choice behind Van der Beek and Dele Alli. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he even looked into him and like Tuchel was like, no, we can't. We need to keep all our players to the end of the season. Who knows? I expect like people like Ross Barkley to be leaving it, hopefully at the end of the season, because we know they're not good enough and he ain't getting in the team. There's so many players that aren't good enough in our squad, like all these loan players that we need to like ship out because of the new rules as well, because we ain't going to be able to have all these players on loan anymore. The only ones you're allowed to loan out now by the book is like all the youth players. They're the only ones that we're going to be allowed to loan out, really. And you're only allowed a certain number of other players you're allowed to loan out that we've bought, basically. So there are people like Matt Mizaga. Fucking hell, how is he still a job? Danny Drinkwater's contract finally runs out at the end of the season, thank God. We've got Kennedy back. Why do we need him? That's how peak things are at the moment for Chelsea at left back. We brought Kennedy back. That's a joke. Absolute joke. That guy was never. That guy's not good enough. I'm sorry, he's not. It's poor. Malang Sarr, yeah. Marcos Alonso can just leave. I'm sorry. I was hoping he'd be one of the ones to go, but we need him. Like before Ben Chilwell got injured, I was hoping, when we got to January, we could get rid of the likes of fucking Marcos Alonso. We don't need him. We didn't need him, but now Ben Chilwell's injured. He's our only hope. It's a joke. We didn't invest like Robert Gosens at Inter Milan. What he went, he was decent enough. We couldn't have gone in for him. That was the one I thought we might go in for, but no, we missed out on that one. Luca Dino, we missed out on him. So, all we wanted, we didn't want to buy anyone. We supposedly couldn't afford it, or we couldn't balance the books. We couldn't get rid of anyone. It's just, I don't know what are they doing. Basically, we've had one transfer this year. Romelu Lukaku, we spent 100 million on him. So for me, the last two transfer windows have been a failure. We've got rid of players, but look what they're doing. Like Tammy Abraham, who's banging in the goals. Tino Livramento doing great things at Southampton, looking like a baller. When we could have done with him this now. We've let a few players go out on loan, and they're looking great. I miss Giroud, man. We could do with him right now, to be honest with you. It's just abysmal, really, isn't it? Our transfer dealings for the last year have been a joke. Absolute joke. We've done nothing in a year apart from splurge £100 million on a player who don't want to be here. That's what a joke. That's what a bigger joke it is. Who was looking into there was a panic buy, I think, at Lukaku. It was like, we need someone. We need a striker. No one was coming. We didn't have to buy him. We could have waited. We didn't have to let Tammy go. We didn't have to let Broja go to Southampton. We could have kept those two and tried, or Kai Havertz could have played up front, or Timo Werner another year. I don't know, because we've wasted that 100 million where we could have invested it in like a Declan Rice or a decent centre back like a Jules Koundé that we could have been bringing, or Chouameni. And now we're going to have to spend even more money on players. Our transfer dealings have just been a joke, and I don't know who to point the finger at, really. Everyone's pointing it at Marina. You could do, but There's others in that club as well that are involved, and all of them could be held accountable, even all the way up to Roman. There's our transfer dealings, like even before the transfer ban. The reason for the transfer ban was a joke. Like before that, we didn't really do great things. Some were good. Like it was hit and miss. It's been hit and miss for quite a while. Like we get a few decent ones in, and then the rest are just trash. Like, why are we buying these players? Like N'Golo Kante, fantastic, but then you've got Danny Drinkwater, Ross Barkley. Why the hell did we buy him? Just players that weren't good enough for this club. It's just been a joke. Like Baba Rahman, and he's still on the books. Like, he's out on loan. It's just random players that just ain't been good enough for this club. And even Kepa, like how much we spent on him was like a joke. That was a panic buy. Has Jorginho been good enough? The only one like I can think of in the last couple of years, Kovacic has been a great buy. We spent 50 on him. Kante, good deal. But that was like years ago. There haven't been like players that I can hold my hat on in the last few years. Have been, great bit of business. Apart from Silva, Mendy, Chilwell, but now he's injured. Like, Silva's like, we got him for free and he's been fantastic, but he ain't going to be around for much longer. Like, great bit of business for free. So, other than that, our transfer dealings over the last few years have been an absolute joke. Like the players we got rid of, we should never have been getting rid of. Like Tomori. Why did we let him go? We could do with him right now. Like when we knew these contracts of other players like Christensen and Rudiger and others were running down, but we're quite happy to ship out all the other defenders. Yeah, go on. See you later. Just doesn't make it like I'm not happy with the way we've been dealing with our transfers over the last couple of years. Like managers have not been backed properly. Lampard wanted players that he didn't get. You've got players that were names like FIFA rated players that just can't hack it in the Premier League. Like the only couple, like I said, the only decent business Lampard did was Mendy, Silva, and Chilwell. The rest, those were his players, I think, as well. Like Lampard didn't really want Silva; he wanted someone else. But when he got offered him, you're not going to turn him down. Mendy was Czech, and he's been great. And Ben Chilwell really was the only Lampard signing then, really, that he wanted. The rest, like I don't think Lampard really wanted them. And then they haven't been good enough. We couldn't find a place for him in the side. Tuchel doesn't rate him either. So I can see Ziyech leaving. I can see Werner leaving. I can see Havertz maybe even leaving. And if we can get a bit of money for them all, then fair enough. Let's start again, it looks like. Because it's just not been good enough. Transfer dealings have not been good enough over the last few years. The only one I'll probably keep is Kai Havertz. Because he's got potential still to be a good player. You can see it in him. He's just got to be given more time on the pitch. For me, Werner's just not good enough. And Ziyech is like, has a couple of good games and then goes missing for a month. So, it's just no one like up at top that we've got that I can hang my hat on that's going to score the goals for us, that's going to create for us at the moment. Maybe this Dembele deal should have been done. Maybe we should have brought him in, but even him, like, is he good enough? There's question marks around him. Fitness. Is he going to be good enough? Can Thomas Tuchel get the best out of him again? I understand, like, Thomas Tuchel, he loves him. And, like, the relationship between the two is great and they can do great things together. They did great things at Dortmund together, but this is a different type. Like years have gone by, he's a different sort of player now. So who knows? But I'm willing to take the gamble if the price is right. You know, he's going to be free transfer at the end of the season, but he's going to be wanting big deal, like big money, wages wise. Oh, we're at Chelsea now, though.
I think not Chelsea fans. I don't think that deal is going to happen this.
Nah, it's done, man. Dead in the water. Everything's dead in the water for Chelsea. I don't even know why that geezer's there, standing outside the shed end.
It could be available for them this.
Yeah, like he's Gary Cotterill saying the report from Sky, man, it's not happening. Maybe like in the summer, that's all we're getting really. I reckon it could be done. Like they're probably like they have been in contact with each other. Chelsea have said to Barcelona, yeah, we'll like announce it in a couple of weeks. So It's the only thing that I think might happen, but apart from that, no, we're not buying it. Nothing's going to happen now in the last 25 minutes. It's peak, man. We are literally dead in the water out here. Like, we ain't going to be challenged. Like, it's going to be tough for us to win anything this year. Like, we've got cup games coming up, and we've got a lot of games coming up, and I don't know if our squad can cope with it. Like, I would have liked to have had a couple of additions because we've got to go out and play this World Club Cup. We've got the FA Cup, we've got the Champions League, and we've still got to fight for top four. We're in a lot of competitions, and our squad is already stretched thin enough through injury, through COVID, through everything else that's going on. And we might have to rely on some of the youth players against like Plymouth. The game's going to be difficult enough. Then we've got to go out and play this World Club Cup. And I want them to win it, but it's a bit of a hindrance maybe at the moment for where we are with the players we've got. But we want to win it. It's another competition. We want to win it. So just win trophies this year. That's what it's all going to be about. Maybe like try and win we're in the Carabao Cup final, so try and win that. So who knows? We got to the final, so it's good enough. Anyone can win. It's anyone's game on the final day. You never know. You never can predict what can happen. Anything can happen. So we're in the final, and we've got to be in it to win it. FA Cup. We've had some favourable draws so far. If we get a couple more, then we could find ourselves in the semi-final. So, and then who knows from there. Champions League, decent draw. Lille, we can do them again. We've shown it before. We can beat them. We're good. We've got good enough players. It's just if they turn up, and I'm pretty sure they will in that sort of competition. The players we've got, they love that sort of competition, like your Jorginhos, Azpilicuetas, Thiago Silvas, Rudiger. Those sort of players will turn up and put in a performance. Even your Hakim Ziyech probably will, and Pulisic as well. And they always shine in the Champions League. We've got a lot of players that like that competition and like playing against like teams in Europe. So we'll do well in the Champions League. I think we'll get at least to the semi-final. I can see us doing that, and maybe even get to the final. Depends who we draw though. I think we'll get past Lille, and if we get another favourable draw, then who knows from there? It's anyone's game. So it's just if the squad can stay fit enough and play well enough. As for the Premier League, I think that's going to be our toughest task, really, is finishing in the top four. Because that's where we struggle with the intensity. Our players struggle with the physicality, the intensity of the league. I do believe that there are some of our players that do struggle, and it's going to be a struggle. There's still a lot of games to play, and we're going to be missing a few. Right, there's a few games the players our teams have got to catch up on us, and they will catch us up. And it's going to be a difficult ride to the end of the season, trying to get top four, in my opinion. But Tottenham have strengthened. They're looking a better side. Arsenal will struggle, I think, without Aubameyang, but they're still looking good. They've still got decent players. Man United are coming back, in my opinion. Enough said about them at the moment, now with their problems. West Ham, you never know with them. They haven't invested at all. That's strange. I would have thought West Ham would have done a bit of business today. maybe get a striker in, but they obviously couldn't get. I would have thought they would have done something in this window. They've had investment, but they haven't actually brought anyone. Maybe the right sort of player didn't come up for them, but they're still a threat. They can still get in the top 4. Liverpool did a bit of business, but that was basically because they didn't want to lose a target for the summer to Tottenham. So the geezer didn't want to. Who wants to go Tottenham? I mean, come on. Willian knows the score. Do you know what I mean? He hates Tottenham. Went from White Hart Lane, paid for his flight, and where I am, saw the light. He got a call from Abramovich, and all 3 went to Stamford Bridge. See, those sort of deals, man. Do you remember those days when we did that? Pulled off the Willian deal, came in at the last minute and hijacked it. Where are those sort of things anymore? Do you know what I mean? We've done nothing. It's been peak, man. This whole year of the transfers has just been dreadful. This one, the last one, even probably the one before. I can't remember. Did we do any business in the January transfer window last year? Probably not. I don't remember. We don't usually do much, but I don't know why I expected anything. We never do business in January, really. But the last one was big one was Fernando Torres all those years back. I can't think of many others that we've really big bit of business that we've done in the last few years. No big deals really for Chelsea have happened in January. So really expecting something to happen was wishful thinking. But we always like to wish, don't we? We always want something to happen. We always want a transfer. It's nice to get a transfer. It's like having a present, It's nice. But we're not getting one, so we might as well forget it. It's been crap, this transfer window. We've been linked with a few left backs here, every left back here, there, and everywhere. Because we knew that we were desperate for a left back, and we wanted to loan, and no one wanted to loan. Everyone wanted us to buy, and we didn't want to buy. We've got under 20 minutes to go now. And once this is done, I'm done. And this has just been dreadful. Just a poor window, really, all round for Chelsea. But like I said, what were we expecting? Were we expecting miracles? No. Were we expecting a competent left back? Maybe. Before Ben Chilwell got injured, we were expecting maybe a bit of business in January. A little bit. Maybe bring in a backup left back anyway. Because I wanted Marcos Alonso out, and I'm sure I weren't the only one. We know there are players in this squad that aren't good enough. We know Ross Barkley is not good enough. Unfortunately, we know Ruben Loftus-Cheek isn't at the level. And it's a shame. There are certain players that we need to get out. And I don't think we've even tried. There's been no news of anyone been interested in looking at Ross Barkley, Burnley or someone like that. No one, not even a championship club. No one in Scotland. No one's been interested in any of our players. No one's come in for anyone. I haven't heard much news. We haven't rejected anything or anything. I heard a little bit of news about maybe someone like Atletico Madrid wanting Marcos Alonso, but that went dead. That was just one rumour one day and that was gone. There's just been nothing. And I'm guessing we're waiting until the end of the summer. We're going to hopefully in the summer, but we said that last year. They said that last year. We're doing deals in the summer, and we did one. He wasn't backed in the summer. He got 100 million for a player who don't want to be here. There's been nothing else. It's just disappointing. Absolutely disappointing when you see other clubs strengthening and we're doing nothing. There's no news of anything coming out from our club about these contracts, about no one's re-signing, no one's looking to come in. We're not looking at anyone to come in really of any quality. It's just players I'm hoping this Rafinha deal, like that's the one I'm hoping for. Like if anyone comes in the summer, it's that geezer from Leeds. He'd be the one I'd want because he's proven Premier League quality. I don't want Dembele. I'm sorry, I don't. Even if he is free, I just think injury-wise, he's just not. He's so injury prone, and if Thomas Tuchel can get a tune, I'll be happy. If he comes in, then yeah, I'll back him. But he's not going to be my first choice. It would be the lad from Leeds, Rafinha. But that's maybe even a tricky deal because do Leeds want to do business with us? You never know, but hopefully we can get that done in the summer. That'd be one I would like. Like I said, Declan Rice, but then again, how much is he going to cost now? Like the only players we've let go, look, like the business we've done. Let's have a look, yeah? I'll tell you what we've done. I think we did like Lewis Baker left, which great. Like the lad needed to go. He's gone to Stoke. That was it. That was embarrassing. We've got one player out. Just been poor all round, really. Like we've just got to wait till the summer, and then maybe stuff will get done then. Now that's the big one today for me. Like in the Premier League, the shocker is Aubameyang leaving. That was the big one. Followed up by like the business Everton have done, getting Lampard in, getting Ali and what looks like Ali and Van der Beek. Good bit of business for them, really. They're the that's the three big things I think in the transfer window over the last couple of days. Everything else, there hasn't been much else. Newcastle, like I said, like they've splurged like big time, 100 million nearly, I think. You've got to like feel for the other clubs around them, like they can't best. I will say probably the best promo video, introduction video, whatever you want to call it, has got to go to Burnley. That was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, what's his name? Verkhorst. What a name as well. This geezer is a fucking giant. He's like, he looks like the Jolly Green Giant in the Wolfsburg kit. He is huge. 6'6". My God. Giant. Nearly as big as Peter. He's going to be difficult to deal with, isn't he? Supposedly he's decent as well. He's banged in a few goals in Germany. But it's Germany again. I've heard so much about German football. Great. And players have come here and they just haven't been good enough. But this geezer looks like a giant, and I love the Jurassic Park thing. I thought that was fantastic. So you never know. Burnley are going to struggle. Norwich have done nothing of note really, apart from Todd Cantwell's. That was rumoured he was leaving. He's going to Bournemouth. I don't know. They'll struggle. I think Norwich are in big trouble. Newcastle, the players they've signed Dan Burn. He's a beast. Speaking of big lads, he's a big lad as well. It's a good signing for them. Like I said earlier, they've done a good bit of business, Newcastle. They did want Jesse Lingard, but they couldn't get that across the line. Like I said, Newcastle, they can have Ross Barkley, Marcus Alonso. Last couple of minutes. Do you know what I mean? You can take him any day of the week. Trust me. I'm surprised they haven't come in for someone like that. But no one's been interested in our Deadwood. We'd have to do some Del Boy shit to get these players out of our club because they ain't leaving. We got conned into buying these players.
talked about the fee. We said £56 million you pay for
Yeah.
and let him go free. It's any other business and any other league. It's madness. So I don't know if Arteta could have maybe just put his arm in him and said, always forgiven because we.
Yeah, Arsenal like letting that's the big one for me. Arsenal just letting Aubameyang leave. I swear he only signed that massive contract like a year or so ago, maybe 2. A massive contract, and then it's just all gone peak. Like he was their captain this year. Obama who? Obama what? Obama bye bye. Trinks is probably crying in his supper right now. Do you know what I mean? Like tears rolling down. Like his idol is leaving. Like Arsenal fans are just crying tonight. Like and they brought no one in as well. That's the big problem. Like that's what they're going to moan about. Is no one's been brought in.
Well, we said there'd been a breakthrough. That the two clubs had agreed a fee. That was the case. We said it would probably
Liverpool.
This is not definitely going to happen. This move.
Yeah, they're trying to get that boy in, and like Tony Khan's not letting it happen. He's like, no, live tonight on Dynamite. Tony Khan, you know he loves his wrestling. Me too. I can't deny it. Tony Khan's got more important things to deal with. He can't be dealing with Carvalho right now. He's got worried about Dynamite on Wednesday night. It's AEW all the way. Do you know what I mean? Like he ain't got time to think about transfer windows. He's planning who's going to be in the main event of Dynamite. Live tonight on Dynamite. Do you know what I mean? Like it's important, these things. Transfer window, no thank you. 5-star match between Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes, yes please. Do you know what I mean? That's what's more important out here. What Fulham fans thinking? Liverpool. No. This is Tony Khan. You ain't doing business with Tony. No way. He's the man. Bring out Hook. Send Hook. That's what I say. Send Hook. Do you know what I'm saying? Cowboy shit, and then when he's there. Yeah, he's doing a bit of business. Tony Khan's probably doing a bit of business today, like signing a few more wrestlers. That's all he's interested in. He ain't signing footballers for Fulham. And he ain't letting anyone go either. He signed CM Punk, he signed Bryan Danielson. Do you know what I mean? He's bought in, he's done a lot of business in the last couple of months, so Fulham ain't buying no one else. He ain't interested in like football at the moment. He's far more interested in what he's doing with his wrestling, and rightfully so. AEW all the way, baby. You watched the Royal Rumble the other night. What a shit show that was! My goodness, that was dreadful. Peak, man. Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey's back. You know what? Brock Lesnar lost the title and then won the Rumble. That tells you what they think of their company, isn't it? And all their wrestlers. Ronda Rousey ain't been around for 2 years. She comes back and wins their Rumble. Women's Rumble was awful. I'm sorry, it was. But then there ain't many women's wrestlers that I really rate, to be honest with you. Most of them are peak. I should be doing this on here. I've got another channel I should be doing. I'll go check that out. Wrestling Bants. That's coming back soon. We've got 8 minutes left here of the transfer window. Don't know how I slipped into wrestling, but there you go. It happens. This transfer window has been abysmal for Chelsea. But what did we expect? We don't do business in January. Half our team are still on the winter break. We're all on I reckon Marina's on a winter break, you know. I think she's taking a break as well. She's probably out in Dubai or somewhere like that, you know what? Or she's probably with like Kai and Thingy and Timo Doombuggy in, or out with Mason Mount playing football with college girls in America. Or I don't know. She ain't doing any transfer dealings, that's for sure. Chelsea are not signing anyone, unfortunately. It's not happening. We've got like 7 minutes left, and this ain't happening. Big up yourself, Matt, but it's not happening, mate. You're going to have to wait till the end of the season. They'll probably start on it like Chelsea do. There'll be someone announced like we're going to be signing them at the end of the season. Like in a couple of days. Like we did with Pulisic. We waited until after the window and then said, yeah, by the way, we've done a deal to sign Pulisic. He ain't coming until the summer. If we're going to do anything. Then we did it with Ziyech as well last year. We did it with Werner as well. I think pretty much like the deals have been done and like we're just going to wait till the summer for them to announce them. That's what we might have in a couple of days. That's what I'm thinking. Like Dembele. If anyone, it'll be him. We'll probably look at doing a bit of free transfer, but there's a lot of players' contract. It's going to be crazy. This summer, trust me, is going to be a crazy one for transfers. That's what I'm predicting. It's going to be one of the craziest transfer windows ever. Like last year's was madness. There are a lot of players' contracts that are coming up. A lot of big names that their contracts are coming up. So this could be like a merry-go-round. We've got 5 minutes left, guys. There's nothing else happening in this window. It's been awful. It's been dreadful. But what do we expect with Chelsea? Like, we never do any business, especially on the deadline day. We don't do business on deadline day. I can't remember the last time we made a deadline day signing, if we've ever done one. We probably have, but let's have a look. The only one I can think of is maybe Torres.
I'm told Jules not to worry. Everton is still expecting this one to get done. There's a few little niggly things to be sorted out, but basically the deal was sorted when Bill Kenwright discussed it with Daniel Levy as well. And since then, of course, Dele Alli has undergone a medical. He's effectively agreed to a 2.5-year contract as we understand it, and the fee would be based on performance-related add-ons and could rise up to £40 million. As I say, Everton expect this deal to get done and Dele Alli to become the second signing on deadline day, joining Donny van de Beek, who signed on loan until the end of the season.
No, I can't see anything. There's nothing happening. Usually there's a little bit of business that gets done afterwards, but there's been nothing mentioned for Chelsea. And it was high. It was hope, wasn't it, really, more than anything else. And we've just got to wait till the end of the season now for transfer. We all love transfers.
Form himself for a number of years now. Everybody was speaking about him being this world-class talent. He's going to have to get back to that level. I think the most important thing is an opportunity to regular football. But what
biggest bit of business today is Aubameyang. That's the big one today, and what Everton have done, like I said. Aubameyang is a big one. Even for us, really, if you think about it, like we have Arsenal hot on our heels, and them losing him, while he hasn't been playing for them, like they're going to struggle without him. They will. Like they will struggle with goals, like scoring. And they have been recently. They've been struggling scoring goals. So, and their fans won't be happy that they haven't like tried to like buy someone else in, like bring a striker. And they were in for that Vlahovic, and he's gone Juventus. They haven't tried for anyone else really. There were other options out there. And they didn't invest really, so it's going to be tough. Like Tottenham are the ones that have like tried to have done some business around us. Like I said, Liverpool only did their deal they've done because Tottenham were doing business and wanted to sign the same guy, and they brought him in. Liverpool just had to do it because he was close to joining Tottenham, so that's why they signed up Luis Diaz. Don't know if he's going to be decent enough, good enough for this league, but Liverpool usually do most of their business is quite good, I will say. So odds are that he's going to be a good player. City have done nothing. They don't need to. Man United, like I said, they haven't done anything apart from let Donny van der Beek go. But he had to leave, really, didn't he? There's been nothing else. And we are 2 minutes out from this window, 1 minute from this window being shut for good. And this has been one of the most uneventful transfer windows for Chelsea. Like, uneventful completely. Like, the players that have come in and gone have just been... There's nothing to talk about, really, apart from the lad from Derby, who could be a decent player in a couple of years. Or maybe he could come in and do things that we might see him maybe against Plymouth. Who knows? He might be in the squad, but might be too soon for him. Apart from that, there's been nothing. We haven't really let anyone go. Just a couple of loans for a couple of youth players. One or two have been let go completely. Like Lewis Baker, he's gone. Tarek Uweki went to Crewe. Angerin has gone to Huddersfield, came back from his loan in Russia. But apart from that, we've done absolutely nothing. This transfer window has been abysmal, just uneventful, really. I'm not annoyed, but we can't, Chelsea can't complain now. Tuchel can't complain now. I don't want to hear we haven't got the players to compete in the cups. We haven't got this, we haven't got that. I don't want to hear it, because you said you were happy, so you're happy with the squad we've got, and I want to see us competing now to the end of the season. Getting top four is a must. I don't even care. Don't want to talk about top four. The squad we've got is a failure, a complete failure if we don't get in that top four. I want to see us go into the ends of these the rest of the other cup competitions we're in. We've done it in one. I want to see the business end of the Champions League and the FA Cup. I want us winning the FA Cup, to be honest with you. The Champions League, won't mind that as well again. But I want us near the end of that. The squad we've got, we should be getting towards the end of that competition. So that's the bare minimum for me. Winning competitions is a must. Winning that World Club Cup, there's no one really of any note. We should be walking that competition, to be honest with you. If we don't, then I'm pissed off, man. We should be winning that easy. Easy. Sorry, but no, there's no other teams around the world that can compete at the level of European football. And we should be winning that easily. The only difficult one will be the Brazilian side, and we should be winning it. We should be. FA Cup, like I said, we should be getting at least. I want to see us getting all the way to the final. No reason why we shouldn't. And Champions League, same. At least bare minimum should be semis, in my opinion. If we get another favourable draw in the next round, why not? We should be getting there. Squad, we've got players, we've got the experience there. We've supposedly got the quality that's good enough. So we should be, in my opinion. If we don't, then this season's been a bit of a failure, really, hasn't it? We ain't competing for the title, which is a failure, like we were told we would be. The squad was good enough by our experts. Adding Lukaku was the final piece of the puzzle. How wrong they were. So we'll see what happens next season. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking around, those that did. Thanks for commenting, those that did. Thanks for smashing the like button, those of you that did. If you want to subscribe to us, that would be brilliant. Those of you that have already over the last couple of weeks, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Next game up on the weekend is Plymouth in the FA Cup. I'm not going to be doing a watch along because I'm going to the game. It's going to be my son's first game. Now, if you know and you know me that well, you know who my son is. You know the tweet that's out there about my son. If you're a Chelsea fan and you follow me and you follow Shed End Blues, you would have seen it. quite a few people saw it, and yeah, he's going to his first game. So yeah, just go check out my actual Twitter handle, which is at carefreegb, and you'll see. Yeah, my son's going to his first game at the weekend, so that's going to be pretty cool. Getting him down there, going to watch Plymouth, Chelsea in the cup, and just yeah, it's going to be his first game, so that'll be pretty cool. We'll be doing a vlog, hopefully, if I can get some picture, get a video, I will. But I'll do a review hopefully when I get back. But I won't be able to do like watch along or anything like that this weekend because yeah, I'm going to be at the game. So yeah, it should be fun, and I will let you know what I thought of it afterwards when I get back. It's going to be a long day traveling down there. I don't live in London. Traveling there, traveling back. It's going to be a long one for him. So, but a fun one, hopefully, a good experience for him, and then hopefully from there, because he is disabled, so it's going to be difficult for him. But hopefully, he enjoys it, and then we can go to more games because yeah, it'd be decent. I'm looking forward to that game at the weekend. Should be good, and you will see a review hopefully at some point when I get back from the game, and hopefully a vlog as well if I can get one done. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been a minute. It's been real. It's been peak. It's been everything. This transfer window has just been abysmal. That's my last word. Just uneventful, abysmal, embarrassing. Trying to buy back our own players. That was the peakest part of it all. And getting rejected. We tried to buy back Emerson Palmieri and we got rejected. That's been the most embarrassing thing for Chelsea. That's just bantering it all over, really. You can't even like buy your own players. Oh dear. Dear. Only at Chelsea. Thanks for watching, guys. Big up the Chelsea. Up the Chelsea. Come on, the lads. We can do it. It's Plymouth at the weekend. I'm going to be there with my son. I'll see you all there as well. Up the Chelsea. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Follow on Twitter at ShedEmBlues. If you're a Chelsea fan, you will get a follow back.